and tried to find someone to refute this evidence, and there wasn't anybody. It matched Greg's, and the prosecution was offering Greg a plea bargain, and they just basically spent the entire year they had the case trying to get Greg to accept a plea. And to his credit, he refused. He said, there was no way he was going to say that he killed his wife when he didn't. He said, how could I ever look my children in the eye again if I said I killed their mother just to save my own skin? And the other interesting thing is that Greg was charged with first-degree murder. They were going after the death penalty. He was released on bail and was actually free on bail the whole year that they had this case. And he used to always say when he actually got to death row, and he would tell people that, the other guys on death row, they'd say, were you out of your mind? I mean, I would have been gone so fast, if they were. But he said they never understood the concept that if you're innocent, you don't run. And of course, like everyone else, we trusted the system, and well, anyway, it was 3 weeks before Greg's trial was supposed to start, and these attorneys had literally done nothing. I mean, they hadn't even interviewed any witnesses. They'd done nothing, and so they fired him. And because Crathy's apartment was in the far northern part of Tulsa, that part of Tulsa is in Osage County. It's not in Tulsa County, which turned out to be a major obstacle in the case, because the capital of Osage County is, or the county seat is Pawhuska, which is a much smaller town even than Ada. And my parents were told that maybe this time, since the first attorneys certainly didn't work, they should go with an attorney from Pawhuska that would be familiar with the jury pool, with the judges, that sort of thing. So they did, and they hired another attorney named George Briggs, who had also been one of the top defense attorneys in the state. And he came to my parents' home, told them, all these things he was going to do. The first thing they said, of course, was, well, we assume you're going to ask for a continuance since the trial's supposed to start in 3 weeks. And he said, no, don't need to do that, not a problem, I've got it under control. And he was going to do all these things. Well, my mother, he was an older man, and my mother always said that he reminded her of Matlock. But he was not, as she also says now, he was not Matlock. But anyway, he never did any of the things he said he was going to do. And unfortunately, of course, much later, we found out that he was an alcoholic who had brain damage from drug use, from falls. He had actually been sanctioned by the Oklahoma Bar Association to no longer accept any new cases because they had so many complaints against him. He said that he didn't open his mail, so he didn't know that. So, the judge in the case was one of his drinking buddies. As David said, you talk about Murphy's Law, I mean, absolutely everything we touched just fell apart. But anyway, he went to trial. And realized very quickly, as with everyone else, that things were not going to go well because his attorney, the second attorney, had done nothing. He had not even looked at the bite mark.